Don't know.
Blessings. Welcome back to Talk the Ting Sports.
Yes, I.
What is the word, fellas? What is the word?
You know.
Well, as you know, still top of the league, still top of the Champions League, still top of the Fantasy League, you know.
You insufferable, you know, you.
Listen,
Fed up with Mr. Ready, you know. Season doing well that I fed up with him already.
we had to put up with all for years, you know, and when Fergie was doing his junior. So, you know.
Well. and we all that only have one Premier League title. So
well, not many can say they win one. Eh?
True.
I rather the man the Pep say you have 6.
Where you have
Pep say you have 6. So what is it with, fellas? It was a like a rainy day today there, you know, in New York area.
Yeah.
I hope everybody made it to work and made it home safely. But now it's time for us to talk a little bit about some sports and mainly football. So let's go straight into it. So coming out of the double game week we had, what team would you guys say is the team that is you know, in the richest vein of form?
Well, I'll have to say Chelsea.
Chelsea
looking the strongest there so far, man. The title favorites they might be eventually.
Title favorites, but that's my TV, I find.
No, don't fall for Mister. Don't fall for his
I see what he's trying there.
Trying to shift the focus from his team to, you know, other team.
Informed team, you know.
Liverpool is the most informed team, although they only played once. Chelsea has played well. Chelsea played well.
Was the informed team.
So what was the reason for the Liverpool game didn't play?
The weather.
There was a storm going through in north of England, man.
Yeah.
So how United game ended up playing?
No, because the brunt of the storm was in the morning.
Yeah, 7:30 UK.
Or game was in the afternoon.
So,
yeah. So
then Onana, if it's one person that wish the game didn't play, is Onana.
Onana alone?
Well, anyway, we'll get to that. So Brad mentioned Chelsea. So let's go and let's discuss Chelsea a little bit. We had a double game week this week. 2 games. So first of all, Chelsea played last week and they beat Southampton 5-1. And then backed that up with a come from behind victory against Spurs yesterday. So I didn't watch the Southampton game, but I watched the Spurs and Chelsea game yesterday. So what was all your thoughts on that game?
Spurs Chelsea?
Yeah.
Well, as expected, to be honest, even with Spurs going up 2, I saw them at that point. I see them throwing 1 or 2 chances. I say Chelsea will win that game. When I see Solanke throwing goals, you know, Spurs will be Spurs. Yeah.
And Spurs started that game hot.
Nah, but how Spurs scored them goals is two mistakes. Same way, you know. The same man that slipped twice give them 2 goals. Spurs did nothing up to that point to make me think that, you know, they would go on, at least go on and score a bunch of goals against Chelsea. Right? Chelsea had most of the ball. Chelsea looked more comfortable. The game had no midfield for the first half. It was literally back and forth. And is who took the chances was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that. The game was exciting to watch, but in terms of like football, how Chelsea set up in the second half, I think really gave them the edge because they pushed Caicedo back. No, Yeah, Caicedo back into the midfield. They put a pure right back there. So I feel Chelsea had a bit more structure and Spurs mad. Spurs mad. That's just that. Like they have zero game management skills. Zero.
The, I saw Caicedo had a challenge in that game that was a real borderline challenge. What do you
It was
think
it
about
was
that?
it was borderline, but in that split second, the partner pushed the ball away. Right? It could have been a yellow card in my opinion, but not red card the way people talking about it.
Yeah,
Everybody
we've
was
seen it
slowed
given.
down. Huh?
We have seen them given.
Yes, we have. But to me, it wasn't a red card challenge.
But the man pushed over the ball, but he went over where the ball wasn't anywhere where
No,
his leg
no
was,
doing, no doing.
where the tackle was.
When you moving at that speed, the ball he seen the ball and the man push the ball this way and his foot going that way.
I
Like you cannot
I
stop your foot from going
I
that
get
way.
it, but I still find it was a little high. You know,
It was high, yes.
I mean, we had players sent off like Brad say for ball and their foot sliding off the ball in and
Right.
hitting
The
fella's
Rashford
shin.
one, I remember
That
it.
happened with Casemiro last year, I think, or year before.
Jones had one similar.
Jones had one as well.
So it's like
And
it,
Jones
it
was the first
happens.
where
But
Jones
to me,
get the ball and his foot just roll off the top of it, and the player come into it. They come together and they give it a red card.
yeah. So it's like a yellow card would have sufficed in my opinion. But
I don't think referee decisions impact the game too much. Chelsea was doing that, especially in the second half, all over Spurs.
So then, what about the other talking point for that game? So I know Cole Palmer had penalties, but who was the player of the game from a Chelsea standpoint, in you guys' opinion? Then, and the Chelsea fans, we want to see all you give us all your opinion too. Who was the players of the game from a Chelsea standpoint?
for me, it was Sancho.
I probably still have to give it to Cole Palmer. Although his penalty he scored, he was involved a lot, even in the Enzo goal, and that Panenka penalty was crazy.
Yeah.
That is what you call confidence, boy. Confidence.
I was watching it there, and I see the way he hit the first one. I see the keeper going to dive the same way he hit the first one, and he can chip it.
But
I say it to myself, and then so said, so done. I was like, all right, well.
Spurs need to find more than one ways to play, man. You go up two. Most teams would say, okay, let's try and manage the game a little bit, take out this thing in the game. Spurs is full throttle. As soon as they win the ball, is 100 miles an hour up the pitch. Sometimes it requires a little bit of tactical nous. Everything cannot just be attack, especially when you have a 2-goal cushion. You can slow the game down a little bit. But
But the coach has been adamant that he won't change his style, so that might cost him his job.
Well, live by the sword and die on your own sword. Because,
Spurs, they finished fifth, no?
Last year they finished fifth, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing already that there might be people calling for the sack for the coach.
Well, the thing is, that has been happening to them for a while. He there for what, 2 seasons? No, this is the second season.
The second season, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you have to, in as much as you want to play attacking football, when you go ahead in a game, you have to manage a game.
Yeah.
Right? You have to, and I guess he lose Romero again. At 12 minutes in the game, so that might have changed the defensive setup. Lose Van der Ven again at the end of the game, so they have injuries, like they're starting centre back pairing not there. But to me, Spurs midfield just do a balance.
Yeah.
It do a balance. They had a nice balance with Bentancur and what is his name? Bissouma. Before I don't know what happened. Something off. And then he not playing Madison. I mean, Kulusevski doing a good job in the 10, but the team lacking balance. And that, as I said, that game had no midfield on when was it yesterday there.
Every time I watch Spurs play, I swear it's FIFA you're watching. like a FIFA video game. You know, like you go up to in FIFA and you're more mad than if you go down one. Every time I watch Spurs, they what I see. Like no sense of control. They don't really change the game to say, well, we up. Let's kind of hold on to the ball. It to me is a lack of maturity. Overall, I seen from Spurs in terms of how they play. They don't try to change anything. And right now they had back-to-back losses. The second game they had the other game they had was they played Bournemouth in the week before last week, and Bournemouth beat them. So Spurs started this season hot. They were up there, and now they dropping like a hot stone, just like Aston Villa.
They're inconsistent, man. But
Yeah,
it's the manager. It's his style.
Mhm.
And if he continue like that, he'll get the sack. But at the same time too, the manager have his style. Like they're getting success, they're scoring goals, but then who on the field managing the game?
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody putting their foot on the ball and saying, "All right, slow it down." But
That's how they train. That's how they approach the game under that manager. He wouldn't last long like that.
Yeah. I think.
But
he might
you
be in
know what?
trouble.
You're not really surprised when Son go clean through and kick it
Boy,
and place it wide. I would have almost put like I
I
don't know
couldn't believe
anything. I would have
something.
put money on him.
I can't believe he didn't square the ball. I mean, I understand it's Werner on the other side, but to me, just square the ball, bro.
To me, it was a tougher pass to make than to stick that in the far corner of the net.
Yeah.
But
When he first got the ball,
yeah,
I mean, to me, I don't know.
you have to hit it in a way that it go away from the defender, going down the middle and reach on the other side.
You would have probably play that pass with his left foot.
But to me, either way, that should have been a goal, right? So that was when you play against good teams, you have to take your chances.
Yeah.
All right, so let's.
Okay. I seen a comment on the screen there. What do you think about like fellas and them that you warm up on the field, right? You run around on the field for half an hour before, and then you come into the game and you slide all over the place.
The warm up doesn't have the intensity of the match.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say maybe because the warm up doesn't have the intensity, man. When things start moving at a pace and you're not really thinking about the grass,
I don't know.
But it amazes me that in 2024. I mean, I cannot imagine that the grass at Stamford Bridge is so much different than the grass at Spurs Stadium. So them guys should have an idea of what type of stuff they need to play on that kind of grass in my mind. But I don't know. Anyway, so let's move on to the next. Unfortunately, we don't spend too much time on this sorry ass team tonight, but let's talk a little bit about Manchester United and the nonsense that's going on at Old Trafford. So we had 2 games between the last 2 game weeks. The Arsenal game, it looks like we played fairly well, at least some parts of the game, but we were undone by a couple set pieces, couple corner kicks, which I don't think many Manchester United fans would have told you that we were looking to beat Arsenal anyway. We were maybe hoping for a draw at the best. But, Arsenal won that game 2-0. I didn't hear too much coming from United fans in terms of being upset about that result. What are you saying, Carol?
I never expected to win the game.
Really?
I think no, I didn't. We're not in a place to beat Arsenal now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Forest. Okay.
Oh, well, that's a different story. We'll get to that. We'll get to that game.
Arsenal.
But for how we play now, right? One, we're not playing with any kind of freedom. We have a good structure, but then it's like we good up to the half line, and then after that we don't know what to do. Then you can't beat Arsenal like that, right? 2, our most creative players are not being used in the most creative positions. Ahmad is being used as a right wing back, and Bruno was played as Was it that game he played as a centre mid?
Yeah, I think
I think he
Arsenal.
played as a centre mid in that game.
Yep.
Right? So that's that. Rashford played. Rashford did nothing. I think Rashford started that game, the Arsenal game, if I recall.
Mm.
Right? And I think he played up top. Is either he started with Rasmus and he played in the 10, or but either way, like the balance not there yet. And I don't think the players used to playing in that system just yet. We're still lacking legs in midfield, and with playing against Arsenal, we need legs in midfield, and that's the long and short of it.
I see no reason why Man United cannot beat Arsenal in a one-off game, but the manager have to come with a plan that makes sense.
I understand, bro. And we didn't. I don't think we played badly. We defended well, right? Arsenal was struggling to break us down, and we set up in a way that to be hard to beat. It took two set pieces, and unfortunately, I know you see that graphic of our best, one of the best aerial players we have, Mr. Harry Maguire, literally standing like that, arms out,
Yeah.
trying to find somebody, and is players getting used to being in certain positions, right? We marking zonally now, more so now than before. We're marking in a zone, so we have Delete or Maguire on the first post, or so two strongest headers should be free. Is what he tried. Well, from what I see, is that he trying to do, right? These guys cannot get a run on the ball. If you can't get a run on the ball, then we cannot. Then we can't do anything.
Yep.
I tell you what,
a player running and attacking the ball will have more momentum and get higher up than you.
All you need to get rid of, about 5 defenders, about 3 of them need to go. The league was a waste of money. Not improving that defense one bit. Martinez, he's been there 3 years now, 2.5. We've seen the best of him. We see what he can do, and if you want to improve, then players they're not it.
I know. Martinez. I would keep him there.
That's the thing.
I would keep him there.
He's there.
The thing is, we don't have a left-footed centre back.
You might as well play Luke Shaw in that position. Eh?
Play Luke Shaw when?
Luke Shaw is the other one I need to go.
Long time.
As is, if he can't feature on the pitch.
Long time.
You check.
Long time. And to be very honest, I brother, what you saying about Delict? I would probably play Johnny Evans in the center of that back three,
Right.
But is what we have. Is what we have.
I still don't feel that the biggest problem at United is the defense. I still feel the midfield is our biggest problem.
Oh yeah, still.
Like no matter, to me, if you can put Virgil van Dijk in that defense, now you'll struggle. Honestly, behind that midfield.
That would be a significant improvement.
I understand, Brad, and I don't disagree, but I think he was still, because defenders who get exposed constantly,
you get exposed.
But we've seen a couple of games with that formation there, and I don't know that there are a couple of different fellas in the midfield too.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like, as much as I think he's talented, Menu, I feel like the coach need to encourage him to be a little more brave on the ball or something, but he's just too basic.
Yeah.
He's give it to somebody else, but you're not trying nothing. Like, I feel like in the midfield, you need somebody that can, even if it's a long diagonal to spread the play or something like that. And I really seen that from him.
But then the thing is, right, that's how he was playing on the Ten Hag. I feel like that's how he was instructed to play on the Ten Hag, right? When he played further forward last season, he was more effective. So he's like, I feel like it's still a hangover from previous, and the same goes for Ugarte, because both of them started in the Forest game, right? And then Forest in that game now we have completely different style because Forest sit off us, right? And none of our midfielders are able to like pick a pass and create something.
What I check in is now with that 3-4-3 formation, you have in little triangles, you have in Mainu in the middle and now Dalo on the wing, and I feel like sometimes you need the midfielder to be able to pick a pass over the defense or drive a through ball, and I don't really see him attempting those kind of things. Just like recycling possession, and maybe that is his job, but then maybe the person next to him need to be able to do that because you can't just rely on giving Bruno the ball and hope.
You can have two. You can have two of them just sitting there and just giving the ball to Bruno all the time.
Exactly.
But the thing is too, I still feel that game after game, week after week, one of the big problems we have is our players' decision making, and the only player I feel, including Bruno Fernandes, the only player I feel who makes the right decisions, I would say 90% of the time is Amad Diallo. All the rest of the guys, to me, when they're in a position to make the right decision, they make the wrong decision almost every time. So
Mazraoui too, for me.
Mazraoui. Out of that deal, that Mazraoui has definitely been the better pickup. But I hope that shows that showing United that you have to spend 50 million pounds to get good players. You get Mazraoui for 12 million, and you can bring him into the team. He can improve the team. So, and then we had the Nottingham Forest game yesterday. That was a nightmare because we started that game really terribly. Forest went up like 2 minutes into the game, and then we had a situation where we had Bruno gave the ball away, right, and Morgan Gibbs White get a goal, which Onana, in my opinion, shouldn't. A goalkeeper at that level can't let that go in his goal.
That's all.
And
straight in the middle of the goal.
Right, and then and then basically we allow Forest to take the lead again, and then that was it. I think from the time Bruno was subbed, we didn't look like scoring a goal at all. Like the only, even Mason Mount coming in, all that, we didn't look like scoring another goal. But anyway, that's 2 losses in a row. The coach say that we have a lot of bad before we see good. So we'll see what we have to
Ever see
do.
good.
Eventually, man, depending on the swing. Maybe we might be agree.
My thing is our players not very smart. They don't appear very smart in terms of game. Right? We make, as Dwayne said, very poor decisions. But at the same time, it's like they're acting like they haven't played together before.
Yeah.
I still see a whole bunch of space between fellas. Nobody coming and playing the ball, no kind of thing to create a little overload. Nothing. So I don't know. Early days into the coach.
I watched all you play Nottingham Forest, and I thought to myself during the game, this don't look like a group of players that training day in and day out. They look like when they receive the ball, they have to look around to figure out what can I do. And yes, football have a certain aspect of you reacting to your environment, but it don't look like them man training, having no patterns of play. I mean, the manager just come, but players receiving the ball, the only man that have a purpose is Bruno. The others, they look like they don't want to try to make a mistake, so you just pass it back there.
Yeah.
I feel Bruno. I don't know. I feel like Ahmad gets the ball and in his mind what he wants to do, man. I feel like he knows if he take on a defender, if he want to, shoot. But I just feel like the rest of the guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, so now the other big, before we close off United for now, the other big story that came out of United was, where is it now? We part ways with Dan Ashworth, who is the sporting director, after 5 months in the job, where we waited maybe I think more than 5 months to get him from Newcastle. Paid about $2 million I heard in compensation, and then we get rid of him after 5 months. So I don't want to ask Kerry, but I want the people in the chat to give us their opinion on that decision there, and I want to hear what Brad think about that as a rival fan.
Well, I personally think that it's indicative of the lack of of structure behind the scenes. You bring a man in, you pay a compensation to a club to bring him in a particular job. And now we are in rumors that he left because he wanted to take X decision and Y decision. Why can't all the stakeholders in a decision making process have their opinion? We come to a decision and everybody agree, okay, that's the decision we make, and move forward amicably.
But
So if let's say Ashraf wanted to bring Southgate and what's the owner name? Say Jim Ratcliffe.
Radcliffe.
You have a committee of people involved in the decision making process. You come to a decision and then you make it and you move on. I don't see why it have to result in a man leaving, because most teams have a structure now where you have executive behind the scenes and it's a committee and they come into decisions based on votes and that kind of thing. It just telling you, Man United, behind the scenes is drama. They still figuring it out. They don't know what they're doing. You know, Jim Ratcliffe was supposed to come and put stability there, but he himself, what experience he has at a top club to know what to put in place to make sure that, you know, these kind of things don't happen. 3 months, the man spent more time haggling over leaving his contract at Newcastle than he spent in the job at Man United. Eh?
But no, the other thing too is that, I mean, I look at it two ways, right? Jim Ratcliffe came in, he bought a minority stake in the club, and he said, and he was brought in to run the football side of things, right? So then he went and he got, you know, in Simon Jordan's words, the best in class. You know, they go and get guys from City, and they get the best guy that they thought from Newcastle and whatever. But to me, sometimes that also means that the crab can't live in a hole, you know.
Boy, exactly where I go in that.
When you get guys who was making the decisions at those clubs and you bring 2 or 3 or 4 of them together, and now, you know, and that's the thing that I noticed that the new coach keeps saying, right? The fact that a club like United, the level of media and the level of attention that every single decision, you know, gets, that is where I believe that you have problems. So even Don Ashworth, for example, might have wanted to bring Southgate. And it's very likely that he just maybe had a conversation with somebody and say, well, my preference would have been Southgate. But that become a whole story. That in itself, you know, you don't know what it bringing into the boardroom, you know, because guys feel like maybe they're being undermined. As we all know, a lot of them guys at that level have an ego too. You know, like they've been running big clubs, you know, they feel like they know what they're doing. So that is one way to me I saying it. And in that vein, I would say if they realize no, that is a problem, the guys who they brought can't get along, I better they just, to me, it's better they cut ties now than to let it go any further. You know, I prefer they realize that they made a mistake, and that is one thing that we have criticized United for in the past, right? They've signed players, they signed different things, they've done different things, and trying to make it work. No, you realize it's a mistake, you move on, right? So that's fine.
The problem is
more money on players, in my opinion.
The problem is, I agree with you. If you're not working, you move on. But the problem is, it might be indicative of a bigger issue. If you have an owner or a majority or a minority owner that cannot work with anybody, then that in itself is a problem.
Yeah.
You cannot be questioned or given advice or be disagreed with. That is a problem too, because he doesn't know everything.
In my mind, something bigger happened behind the scenes. You know? It can't be just that he wanted Southgate and he didn't get Southgate. Some big disagreement happened behind the scenes there, right? And they're dressing it up as that.
Oh, we'll see, because apparently that club no secret can stay. So
right,
we'll find out what happens.
Something will leak.
Yeah, we'll find out what
Right,
happens.
I can't say I don't like how it looks. It happened already, right? But
Yep.
the statement from the club wasn't convincing. Like mutual agreement. We know damn well it's not no mutual agreement.
Yep.
Right? He got sacked for some reason. Like they kick him out. Either something he tells somebody or something has happened, and we'll probably never know what it is.
Yeah, man. We'll hear. It will come out.
Yeah. Speculation, but I don't know.
If I was in this position and I wanted them to bring Southgate and they disagree, I'd bide my time and wait until I could say, well, I told you so.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. All right, let's move on. So Liverpool only had one game out of the double game week. As we said earlier, Liverpool's game was yesterday, right? It was Sunday, right? Yeah.
When
Yesterday morning.
yeah, that was
You guys'
cancelled.
game yesterday,
Saturday morning was cancelled.
Saturday morning was cancelled
Yeah.
because of the weather in England. You guys came back right in this game there. I think you were down.
We were down 1, we equalize, and then we go down 2-1.
Equalize again.
Equalize again, then we take the lead 3-2. That should have been it. A lot
Mistake.
uncharacteristic mistakes from a couple of players, and them things will happen over the course of a season. Can't be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion,
To me, Keller hadn't put a foot wrong in his time. You know,
that was a good point.
Yeah, one misjudgment. Yeah.
A point away to Newcastle, that wasn't too bad. We'll take that. It's just that it does sting a little more to see you take the lead at some point near the end and to concede that late.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Some put that at the end there, Newcastle had a late chance and they were February whistle prematurely. But
no, I didn't see the end of the game. So
I speak for the officials. So I personally thought that he blew the whistle too early.
So now, Brad, with that said, now I guess some of the biggest conversations coming out of your thing is that apparently a contract got offered to Salah. So,
yeah,
and also Virgil as well, right? I think.
Yeah, rumors.
Both of them.
Rumors are that they make a first formal offer to Salah, contract offer. We haven't heard if it is, if he accepted it yet. I heard that they made one to Virgil and it was rejected based on the fact that he wanted a raise and he wanted 3 years.
How old is Virgil?
Virgil's 33 will be 34 by the end of the season. At the end of the season.
And he wants 3 years?
3 years would take him to 37, essentially.
Yeah. I mean,
a raise and he wants 3 years?
I personally, I would offer him a 3-year contract, 2 years guaranteed, and a club option for the third. So if he's still at a level where we feel, he can contribute, then we will take it. If not, thanks for your service.
Yeah.
I mean, Virgil game is not necessarily based on pace, so you can see him playing at a really high level for another 2 years. But inevitably, I feel 3 years, like you say, maybe the club option is a good option, for the team.
Yeah. I think they both will sign, in my opinion.
What about Trent?
Trent, that one is a toss-up. It's an unknown. I'm not sure where his head is at. He might want something new. The other day he was being interviewed and they asked him a question along the lines of if he want to win the World Cup or the Ballon d'Or, and he said he want to win the Ballon d'Or, which is uncharacteristic for most players. Normally they will say, well, it's all about the team and team together. You don't really find players highlighting individual goals so much. So maybe you want to, when you go to Madrid, your profile boosted in that regard.
Yeah.
It could also go the other way. Some players go to Madrid and they get swallowed up by the Madrid media, the fans. Even the likes of CR7, one of their best, if not best ever player, was whistled and booed by the fans.
Correct.
Trent have one bad game there. It might be over before it starts.
Yep.
And we know how some Spaniards treat people like Trent and so.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll leave it at that.
I think it depends on what we do this season. If we go through and we win one of the big trophies, I think he'll stay.
I mean, I don't know, man. You guys, to me, I feel like you guys have a major crossroads, for your team, because a couple of those contracts given to players and maybe their standards drop off and things like that, then you can put all you in a kind of a tailspin there.
Yeah, but I don't have that worry for Virgil and Salah based on their mentality. I mean, you have the natural regression for players as they age. But as far as like, I feel Salah still have a year to give at a high level. Maybe if we have to manage his minutes more, bring in an understudy, But
only brought in case, huh?
yeah, question mark there still. Question mark there still.
Kies haven't played much this year.
No, he played a couple of sub appearances.
He came in injured, no?
Somewhat.
He came in injured.
He came in unfit.
Yeah. And then I think he played a couple matches and then he got injured.
Yeah, but he playing in the U21s right now, so we're looking to get him back in for the busy period later this month.
Nice.
While if he come in and he's fit, based on the way he play, he will play well. Yeah.
So I think if you lock Salah down to a 2 or 3 year contract, at least you can get some money back for him if Saudi come for him in next year.
Right. That's the key
thing. Because somebody will pay for Virgil.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, next year
in the north of England. Yeah, man.
But you look in front of me,
He's talking about Newcastle, man. He's talking about
Newcastle.
So listen, all jokes aside, I mean, Chelsea and Thiago Silva, sometimes a little experienced centre back to come in for a couple of years. Not always a bad deal, And
Yep.
You have a bad bunch.
Virgil would never go to United. Never.
Right.
I never. I don't see that happening. But all right, so Liverpool now still top of the table. I think like 4 points, right? Then more if a game in hand. And Chelsea second.
Yeah.
Let me just, while I pull up the table, we can talk a little bit about this team here, Man City. I know we don't have no Manchester City fans in the comments, but there's a lot of stuff going on.
There are Man City fans in the world. So
if we have to comment on Man City, well, I think Palace do a good job for us on the weekend there. Against Forest, they play well. KDB do his thing. When KDB firing, City firing. Against Palace there.
Palace played well. Palace shut them down.
If we go to the table there, we have
the 2 title favorites in third and fourth. Hey, that's interesting, boy.
Yeah, Liverpool, Chelsea, bringing up the top. So now Arsenal, City, Forest, Villa climbing back up a little bit. They were a couple game weeks ago. They were 11th or something. Villa, they should back up a little bit.
I mean, at this stage in the season, couple good results and you're back up there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Nottingham Forest recent form, and they're still up there. 3 losses in the last 5, and they're still up there in the table. That's to show you the inconsistency of the teams in and around them.
But what I wonder is, what does that say about the league, though? What does that say about the league?
That says that
it's competitive.
It's competitive, and the gap closing on
the top. Or the big, not the top, the big.
Yeah, you have to press C more to see some of the teams on there. I feel like we are addressing teams below 10. We really should reevaluate all the teams we discuss. We can't be discussing.
You know what? I agree with that. We used to keep our show to a certain standard. If you can't be higher than 10, people talk about you moving forward. All right, so
you're watching that table there. Man City on 27, Chelsea on 51. One weekend where Chelsea lose and City win. Back. So right now we can't really say so and so looking likely or that's favorites. Right now the table still taking shape there.
Yeah, the table still taking shape, man. Big time.
But
I won the bottom there. Wolves picking up themselves a little bit. They had a couple good results.
No.
Yeah.
Today, man.
No, I saw they got beat today, but I'm saying, when a couple of weeks ago they only had 1 point in it, so they tried something.
But that run of games Wolves had to get significantly more points than they get there.
Yeah.
right? But
13th to 18th, they're looking at it close, a couple wins and.
Boy, trust me.
So Manchester
Hey,
City
by the way,
United's next game. Interesting.
Mikel Antonio, that man had a crazy car accident over the weekend, and when I saw that guy, I said, "Boy, me snap to say, thank God he's still alive." Trust me.
Yeah.
But they say he only came out away from like a fractured leg or something, or a broken leg.
We need to spend 5 minutes to discuss a certain team. I was told by some of their fans that they in phase 5. They were titled all runners up last 2 seasons, and we thought this season they was going to kick on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if these phases, I don't know if they go in high or if they, some fans want the manager out, some want him in. But what really going on with them this season? I mean, their catalyst, Odegaard is back. The performances have improved, but then they dropped some points on the weekend there. Where they really going?
What the fans saying about that? What the Arsenal fans saying about that? I see they all day in the chat arguing. Call us and
we loved Chelsea so much last season. Look, Chelsea catch themselves, and now Chelsea looking to be the runners up this year, yeah. Or maybe even the winners. Who knows?
Boy, Rafik, boy. Molaka got the yourself, Rafik. Molaka got the.
Well, Chelsea fans have a bit of a chip on their shoulder. I see a few of them in the chat there who are not talking about Chelsea. Talk about them, we get criticism. Don't talk about them, we getting criticism.
Exactly.
We open it with Chelsea. We open the show with Chelsea. Not our fault.
No, you see, we don't spend long enough talking about Chelsea. So you want us to talk about Chelsea just for talking about Chelsea's sake. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, but it's all right.
Anyway, that big debate there we want to go into there.
Yeah.
Let's see what the fans who are watching the show. I want people to call and give us all your opinion on that. We're not talking about team. We're not talking about we're talking about
team is a factor.
Huh?
Team is a factor, but
no. What I'm saying, forget about team. Let's just say if you want to pick
ability,
picking your 11. Which of those 3 players would you pick?
Yeah.
Where the player playing?
Central midfield.
Central midfield.
Midfield. I mean,
it's okay. What's your choice?
Bias.
Nobody.
Listen to me. If I build in a team and I have a defensive midfielder, scores every day.
Right? Too much high science.
Now I try and tell you, it cannot be one or the other.
Building a team and you don't have no players yet.
I have no players yet. The first person I pick in scores.
Yes. Rubbish.
First person I pick in. As a central midfielder, as a creative central midfielder, scores.
Well, your creative central midfielder can't tackle.
Brad, that's why I'm telling you. There's more factors to that. No. Because if I looking for a pure center mid, box to box, Gerrard. If I'm looking for a center mid to get into the box, Lampard. If I'm looking for someone to create schools. So for me,
I'll give you my spiel.
So hold on, Brad. Hold on. What is the job of a central midfielder?
Well, further to that, what does one look for in a central midfielder?
Okay.
Right? So if you have to say, to me, the most I've said it before, the most complete central midfielder of those 3 is Gerrard.
I agree.
As a central midfielder, you're looking for tackling, you're looking for tenacity, you're looking for passing. All of these players they're not so far apart that you can say one is cushion and one is great. They are 3 great players. I think Scholes, as far as passing, is probably a little bit above the other 2. Tackling, maybe Gerrard above the other 2. Gerrard and Lampard with goal scoring and go still into the box and stuff. But I feel like as far as a complete package, if you have to put them on a category, I feel like Gerrard will have more points across the board than the others. But if you obviously if you have a CDM and you're looking for somebody to play in an attacking midfield role, looking for you'll probably go more with Scholes or Lampard. If you're looking for somebody to burst foot in the midfield, maybe you'll go with Gerrard,
Or Scholes, because Scholes burst
To
foot.
be honest,
But Scholes bursting foot was more of an incompetent type of burst foot.
to be honest, for me, it is between two players. I would not Lampard not in that at all. Lampard to me wasn't a midfielder, in my opinion. Lampard to me was a behind the striker type of player. To me, he was not a midfielder, in my opinion. But I would say that Scholes, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like Gerrard not talent-wise talented out of those three players, in my opinion. Not just natural talent, where he can do everything well. But if you were to say that, I feel like when he started in the United team to when it ended his career, he changed roles in the midfield. He first started as a guy who was moving forward, trying to score goals. Later in his career, he kind of, sat back a little bit. But he also played with a player like Michael Carrick next to him, who was a disciplined, tidy midfielder who didn't lose the ball, and so that gave him opportunity for him to express himself. Kind of like what we were talking about a little bit about Kobe Mano, right? Kobe Mano not exactly scores, but I'm saying if you're playing with a guy who's able to, and Carrick was really good at passing the ball as well from deep. So I would say if I was looking to build a team, type of team, I would pick Gerrard. If I'm looking to build a team where it's more based on technical play, I would pick Scholes. But I don't think that they're so far from each other. Because what I like to do is say, okay, when they were playing against each other, if you were to take Gerrard and put him in United team, and you were to take Scholes and put him in Liverpool team, I don't think Scholes would be able to do what Gerrard was doing for Liverpool.
That is exactly the point I usually make, and fellas tend to disregard the team them and playing in. Like I say, when during Lampard prime of his career, Chelsea had a world-class player in each position and even some on the bench, right? Gerrard was playing with a lot of crap. You know what I mean? So look at when Liverpool had Mascherano, Alonso at the base of midfield, and Gerrard was given more freedom. That's when he played some of his best football.
Yeah.
Attacking wise, we see the best for him. So maybe before, based on who he had next to him, he had to play differently. And then he also spent a few seasons playing right midfield based on Rafa mad formation. But but three good players, three decent players.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say Lampard. I rate Lampard definitely. I'm just saying, if you're talking about a midfield, playing in a midfield, to me Lampard is not necessarily a midfielder. Like if I compare Lampard to a player, I would compare him more to like a Bruno Fernandes. Not saying that Bruno Fernandes was as good as Lampard, but those are not players that you depend to play on in like center midfield, in my opinion. I think if like even when Sven-Goran Eriksson was trying to play that team with England, if he had played Lampard a little bit forward and played those two guys in midfield, England would have played better, in my opinion.
Sven tried and shoe on them, man.
But he wanted to play with like Gerrard and Lampard and tell
he wanted to play all of them at the same time, and you couldn't play all of them at the same time.
Well,
he had Carrick and he had Hargreaves there as well at that time. Those guys were in their prime. Probably two of the best DMs England had.
Even when you talk
guys,
when you talk to these players now, like doing interviews, you hear a lot of them saying that the difference between then and now is they say now are so much more involved in like tactical planning and where players should be off the ball and on the ball. And you say back then they didn't really have a lot of that. So then Lampard and Gerrard in the midfield playing together, they may be going off of how they go for their clubs.
Yeah.
Just didn't work.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of comments in the chat there, but none of them fellas calling and they saying why debate, blah blah. Call the show and give us all your opinion. If all you don't agree, tell us all you don't agree. I'm saying, but I want to see how you give us all your opinion. Now I see a partner that's saying that talk they're saying about Chelsea and I'm a Chelsea hater. Let me clear that up there. When I say the sorry ass team, I was talking about Manchester United, Papa, not Chelsea. Right? So let me make that very clear. I'm a Manchester United fan, through, but if it's garbage, you do it. Garbage, you do it. All right.
Exactly.
Since
So
2014,
2013, like them people will say. So Gerard Lampard schools, I think we can agree. You can agree that it depends on the system, but still, if you're looking for a midfielder, it's between one of those two. It depends on how you're looking for a team to play. But you also had a team, bro. Casemiro. So I think.
You know, you see that?
If you say, glad I cleared that up because since I say that, you're team. No, not Chelsea, Papa, not Chelsea. But I think I watched when Madrid was winning Champions Leagues, bro. They didn't have none of the midfielders you would say that was busted foot. Casemiro maybe was the only one that was a tackler. Players were ball players.
well, maybe not in the midfield per se, but they had really technically gifted midfielders, but they are defenders that used to bust foot.
Well, yeah. Ramos and them guys, yeah.
Ramos, Pepe.
Their midfielders was very, very solid.
But the midfielders also used to get about, people I feel like we underestimate how effective Modric was in his prime, like going both ways.
But what I'm saying, Carol, is we talking about Sven-Goran Eriksson trying to play Lampard, Gerrard, and Scholes in the midfield. Them guys were technically gifted players too. So why those guys not play with Lampard playing me a little bit ahead of them, and the two guys sitting back?
Ego.
I don't know. I mean, you and them guys say all the time too. When they used to go England camp and United players will be together and the Liverpool players together, and them guys. It's funny because the Spanish guys and the Brazilian guys, them guys never allowed them club rivalry to come before playing for their country.
They didn't like them. Man, I genuinely believe them man didn't like each other.
Well,
you talking about the English guys?
Yeah, the English guys. Them man didn't like each other.
At the time, they didn't like each other. Eating separately, training separately to the extent possible. Them man.
Yeah. It wasn't going to work.
To give away not even an inch of anything to give another team an advantage.
It wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
That is that.
Anyway, we asking fellas to call in, fellas just in the chat arguing. Keep arguing, Papa. Just tune in, argue in the chat. You see, that's what all you want to do. No problem.
We have a nice CL game coming up there, and not everybody in the Champions League. Some of us are not, but nice game.
Yeah, we can go for that a little bit, but while I pull that up, this real quick. Man City has an additional 15 charges brought to.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that. Nice. I saw that this afternoon. The charges, 130 charges I saw this afternoon. And I heard that the hearing is now concluded. So now we have to wait and see what's going on.
What the ruling is.
I think everybody in that chat would love to see non-league football, for Man City. I'm pretty sure.
Every week. Find a way to see their games.
Non-league football for Man City.
For the empty head.
So let's see what the Champions League games coming up this week looking like. So we have games there. So now tomorrow, is it tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we have Leverkusen playing Inter, Atalanta playing Real Madrid. Liverpool is away to Girona.
Yeah.
You have Villa playing Leipzig.
Atalanta Madrid is the one to watch this week.
But Villa Leipzig should be a good game.
Yeah. Leipzig has been doing very, very poorly though. In the bottom of the table.
PSG playing Salzburg. Munich playing Shakhtar Donetsk. Won't lie, City not in the league will be kind of boring. But I would like it boring.
They boring.
Where City was when in the 2000s when the top four was battling the traditional top four
in the championship,
finishing 17th, I'm gonna think there
in the championship. fellas like Paul Dickoff and Richard Dunn.
Anything that has been proven to be cheating, they need to be removed.
Yep, I agree. It's time for them to go, man. Let's.
But we want it genuine, fair.
Wednesday have some nice games. Wednesday has Dortmund, Barcelona, Arsenal, game. Monaco, Juventus, Man City, and no, what am I looking at here? Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's when
Arsenal, Monaco. Yep. I was looking at the wrong thing. But there's some good games there, man. This week coming up. Good games coming up.
Yeah, we wouldn't disgrace
Wednesday are the better fixtures.
Wednesday fixtures, so but there's football on Thursday as well. We
were talking about that.
Yeah, we know.
By discussing that.
We know.
But, football on them. So let me go to the fantasy. They're forced to close it out.
Well, I'm missing. So where's the embarrass me sooner, boy?
Embarrassed. You remember you was what second you was there?
Nah, man. I drop off for a while, man.
All right,
I drop off for a while.
So the table we have there right now, we have Brad bringing up the top of the league, top of the table.
Yeah, man.
With a nice healthy lead at the top there, a 40-point lead. Not too bad.
That's not healthy, bro.
Not healthy, boy. You crazy, man.
That's not healthy at all. That's
you have to have a stink away your farm and to overtake you there.
That can change in an instant.
Generally, if we all have, a lot of people have all of the same players, so it's kind of tough to get a lead and tough to kind of recover it.
No, you have to throw, a hat in the ring and hope something happens. Pick a captain that nobody see coming. Try to make that up. Let's go down. So look at the top 10 there. So
that table not updated,
the table not updated now, everybody on the website too.
I'm telling you, it's not updated because I have more than 40 points. Let me
refresh.
No, they updating the game because I think the substitutes for captains just happened.
No, but look there now. Okay, so the table updated now. So
all right. That looking
all right. So 945 to 907. South City FC in top 4. Carried in the Europa League places.
Brad, 50 points, Brad.
Even that my captain don't play, I still come out good for the week.
Yeah, I get a 64 there. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
What do we have? I coming up like slowly but surely, man. I catch up with fellas. I 12, man.
Hey, Man United position.
Yeah, no, I won above Man Boy FC. Hey, Man Boy FC had a big week, boy. 92 points for Man Boy FC, boy.
Yes, I.
Big week for Man Boy FC. Let's see how we have the going on. Let me see what else we have there. Yeah, so fellas, I mean, but Brad, you had shared a thing with
Yeah, he had the bottom of the table with Gali. I thought he was coming there and do something serious in the league. He maybe join the in a game week after the league start, man.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I see in the usual suspects there, Damien Sorrento, Fidel, usually punching at the top. So we'll see.
Them fellas there is the oracle, man. Every year them men on the top of the table.
The comeback is on, though. I start playing
fantasy league,
What's that?
You have to know how to add your differentials to try and separate yourself. There's a trick.
Yeah. And it's usually one or two players to give it a little edge. But
so, Brad asking the question. The last to Brad, you can't even ask that question. To me, that's not even a debate.
So that also stemmed from a discussion offline now where I was explaining to another individual that while Haaland may potentially be a better goal scorer or finisher, Thierry Henry is still a better striker in my opinion. I mean, that man playing up holds the record for assists in a season. That tells you everything you need to know.
100%.
Bro,
You know?
I mean,
well,
I don't know.
It goes back to your
Maybe it's
needs.
'cause- no, but maybe it's because I was watching football at a different time. Me, I can't even compare them two guys, bro. Watching Thierry Henry in his prime playing football and watching Haaland in his prime to me is chalk and cheese, bro. I can't even compare them two, man.
I think
Maybe
we
this guy
all,
looking for to do too much.
I think we all agree that a lot of these players like Thierry Henry, given their profile and how dominant they were, if they were playing in that City team in City peak, their numbers would be even crazier.
But think
Yup.
about how many goals Alan Shearer scored, bro. And he didn't play for a team that you would consider the top teams in
Yeah.
England. So how much you would score in that City team?
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, I don't know.
Rafik,
Anyway,
one comment to address Rafik in the comment there. A striker's job is to score goals. His primary job, but a striker's overall responsibility is to help the team win. So if I have a player that's scoring goals and I have a player that's scoring and assisting, to me, he's a more valuable striker. Because if you dump Henry in a Koscielny team, he'll be more likely to help them do better than if you dump Haaland in a Koscielny team. We see how Haaland struggling when you don't have a player to create them chances for him. But Henry would score himself and he'd create for others. So it's not just about a striker job is to score goals. Goals can come in different forms. You don't have to be you scoring it, you know.
But watch the difference between how Aguero played and how Haaland plays. They don't have to look far, you know.
If your striker get 22 assists in a season, that is 22 goals that go other places in the team.
and
Plus,
you talking about
in goals.
Henry getting almost 30 goals in a season and 20 something assists. That's crazy.
Because he's a striker, he's scoring 30 something goals and then he have 2 assists. That's just telling you what you need to do.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, fellas. So yeah, it's been another week. We'll talk the thing. We'll be back next week to talk about the games. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you guys to call in. It's an interactive show. I see all you always in the chat just arguing with each other. Call on the show and argue. Call and argue. I want to hear you go back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so anyway,
subscribe, share.
subscribe.
Big up Ateta, phase 5.
And then you give man phase 10.
Anyway. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Take it easy.
Peace.
Yes,